Hi, everyone, and welcome to Mail Something Pretty. I am Christine Justy, and we are doing our weekly live today. Let's see, I don't even know. Today is June 25th. Crazy. It's the end of June. Crazy, but I guess this week, I forget if it was Thursday, Wednesday, one of these days was the official first day of summer. So here we are in the summer, at least where I live. Where you live, it might not be summer or it might not feel like summer. But let me know if you're watching and where you're from and anything else you thought you should share with me. I want to make sure that whoever's watching live, I have done something different. So I want to make sure that you can hear me. And so we don't get interruptions, kind of like last week. That was a crazy thing. So if you are watching live, please say hello. Let me know that you can hear me, and then we'll get started. All of you on the replay, you have to watch all this kind of business stuff at the beginning. Sorry about that, but I want to make sure it's working. So some fun strip cards to show you today. Last week, I also showed some strip cards, and we got interrupted. There was a alert. Oh, great. Thank you, Sue, and hello. Great. Excellent. Okay, so I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And so that way there's no phone calls or texts that come through. But last week I got an alert that probably would break through the Do Not Disturb. Hey, Nancy, and that 911 was not working in Massachusetts for like an hour or two. So it was a big deal. But it is working, and so we're good. So perfect. All right. So let me go down here. All right, so this is what actually, out of order. This is what we were making last week. I also don't have my overhead light on. I'm just trying to keep it cool because it's a little bit steamy in my room. But if you need better lighting, I'll certainly turn it on. So just let me know that as well. So this is what we made last week. I kind of showed how to turn this rectangle into a square, and some of my little hearts directions got disrupted, but I've taken photographs of everything. I'm going to make it a blog post. I just haven't done it yet, but I'm going to show you. I made other versions of the same card. This one, that's the same. This one I just added, I created my own sun. I just made strips because I don't have a sun die. I know there is one available, but I don't have it. And these are old clouds, or I should say retired. But I know there's other ones. So that's another version. I also did the 1/2 inch strips versus these were like 7/8 of an inch strip. So that was 1/2 inch. And this is another similar one. I just put a hello on there. And okay, so then I decided to do one. Certainly you can turn it vertical versus horizontal, and I just did different colors. Kind of used this whole stamp set, and then I did this one just with soft colors and turned it into a baby card. So that was kind of last week. And again, I will do a blog post on that in case you need the measurements and everything. All right, hi Kim. So what I'm going to show you today is I received this card from Stampin' Up. They made me this card. And so when you earn the incentive trip, and I think I have to say a disclaimer that I forget, less than 1% people earn it, they send you a card. And so I just want to show you, oh good, you can see some of the details. So they did these little strips and then they embossed them. And I have it written down because I forget what it's called, but I just loved it. I love the simplicity of it and the vibrancy of it. And I thought it kind of went along with what we did last week. Here are my measurements, and then Sarah and Shelley signed it. But this is what they used, and I'm going to make a different version. They used for their flowers the Petal Park punch, and they even just took a marker and drew the inside. They didn't even like have a stamp. It just looks like it's done with a marker, so why not? The embossing folder, and I think you can kind of see it. And it kind of had a Mexican flair, which is funny because you wouldn't think, because it's cute crochet 3D embossing folder. And then the Hip Hip Hooray is the Round We Go stamp set, which I'll show you because it's now available, or the last I checked, page 63. This is one of the ones that's on sale this month for 10% off, and it was not back ordered, but unavailable for a little bit. So that's what the Hip Hip Hooray came for. But this is kind of a cool set because, you get your stamps, but you get these to make, I call them medallions. Anne was calling them rosettes the other day. So that was just something we do different. But you can make them on your own. But this die just cuts them and scores them. And then you can make these fun little decorations. So this is 10%, an additional 10% off until the end of June, as well as all other die and stamp sets. And so a lot of them came back. A lot of them went out, and now they are back. So I just wanted to tell you kind of what we used. And so that's my inspiration card. So what I'm going to, I have two I can make, but I have other samples to show you as well. This is the first one that I made. I might make the same one. So you can kind of see. It's very similar, just different colors. And I used a different embossing folder. I used this, I think it's called So Swirly. And then I used the Seaside Wishes, I think it's called, the sand dollar and the starfish. And then this is just a different version of that. The same swirl, same colors. I just used a different type of sand dollar. And I know not everyone has sand dollars near them, but you can probably see that I think you can put anything like in this little corner or this little section and whatever. So it doesn't have to be a seaside card, but that's the one I'm going to show you now, and then I'm going to show you some other samples. So let me put that there, that there. Oh, you can really see my vellum paper covering up that light. Oh, I can actually, well, I'll just leave it on there because I don't have my light on. I don't technically need it. All right, so yeah, Seaside Wishes is a stamp that I'm using, and it's actually cool. This also, as a bundle, is 10% off, and you get even extra pieces. So you get your dies, and then this is what they call a hybrid embossing folder. So you have the embossing folder that has 3 sand dollars on it, so you can use it just as a background, but you also get this piece. Hi Jenny, catching me live. I'm glad you are. This fits, oh, it fits in up here. This kind of locks in, or it stays there. You put your paper, we're going to do it, but you can put your paper down and you close it and it will emboss and cut at the same time. And that's how I got that sand dollar right there. So it's kind of cool. So if you order all of this, it's an extra 10%, so 20% off. So that's a huge savings. I didn't put what page it was on the catalog, but just look up Seaside Wishes and it comes out. All right, so we're actually not going to stamp the sand dollars, but I did stamp them in different colors so you could kind of see. So this is on basic white. So that's beige, crumb cake, smoky slate, and gray granite. And they are all kind of natural when you get them out of the ocean and then you bleach them and they kind of become white. But you can make your sand dollars any color you want. All right, so let's see here. I have my pieces here. I have some of them are cut and some of them are not. I'm going to use my favorite color, which is Night of Navy. I was looking in I was putting, it's crazy, it's mid-June. I was finally putting my winter clothes away and I took out all my t-shirts and most of them are navy blue. So I tried to wear a bold color today. All right, so I'm just going to cut just a standard card base. So I usually will score first and then cut. So now I have 2 card bases. I think I'm just using one navy, so I'll put that aside for right now. And actually, I'm just going to cut the inside since I have the cutter here. And I just know because I've made 2, I'm going to cut that at 5 and 3 3/4. So that's for the inside of my card. Let's put aside. I think I'm done with the cutter, but we'll find out. All right, so I did already cut out my starfish, and what I ended up using, I could have stamped. You could stamp them, and there's dies to cut them out, but I thought it'd be kind of fun. Let me see. I use designer series paper. So this is from the In Color pack. I just have it in an envelope, but these are all the new In Colors. And so each of them have like the same designs. So that's where I got it from. And I thought it was just kind of fun and easier, to be honest, than stamping it and then cutting it. I just cut it. All right. So that's that. This is, again, well, you can kind of see it. I don't have my light on. This is the new beige, and that's Whisper, not Whisper White. That's just basic white. But I'm loving the beige color. It's a great, oh, I do have to cut one more piece. It's a great neutral. All right, so what I'm going to do, each of my strips are 1/2 inch wide, and they are 3.5 inches long, but they are secured on one piece to make it easier. So I'm going to cut that piece, and I decided to cut it the same color as my card base, because then if for some reason my little strips aren't long enough, or you can see a little bit, it's kind of masked because it's the same color as the card base. So we're going to glue all these strips onto this base right here. So that's what those directions are. So the whole strip is 2.5 by 3.5. So that's what this is. And then each individual strip is 1/2 inch by 3.5 inches. All right, so first we're going to glue these on. I actually kind of like the color spectrum here, so I'm just going to stick with that, and I'll tell you what they are as I go along. Oh, Becky said she just ordered the set. Yeah, it's a great set. I've used it only a little bit so far, but I will definitely be using it a whole lot more. I'm just in case I use some glue, because I think I did more than I wanted there. So what I've been doing, I'm just moving the glue aside. I'm putting the glue on my base piece, which will be hidden rather than the individual strip, because I'm less likely to touch the glue. All right, so these just, oh, so that was Pool Party. This is Lost Lagoon. The next one is Pretty Peacock. And do you see how, like, you know that we get little scraps, and usually this size I'll throw in my recycling bin, but you can use a whole bunch of 1/2 inch strips for this. So what did I say? Pool Party, Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, Boho Blue. We have a lot of blues, which is fun. There were some I didn't even use. And Misty Moonlight, and again, it's on a Night of Navy base. The colors, the blues that we didn't use here were, let's see, Azure Afternoon, Balmy Blue. Any more? Oh, we have a lot of blues, which makes me happy. So this is pretty just as is, but we're going to emboss it, which is going to look even better. So I'm using the So Swirly embossing folder, and it's huge. It's huge. So you could actually make multiples, and you could actually make 4 and put them through the machine all at once. But I'm just doing one right now. And so just decide wherever you want your swirl to be. If you wanted to go side, maybe we'll have this one go sideways, because I haven't done that yet. And sideways only because the different direction. I haven't put it in there yet. And then we're going to use the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So these are also 10% off for June. This standard size one, as well as the mini one. And they don't go on sale very much. Just hearing traffic outside. I hope that's not bothering you, but I needed to keep the windows open because it was hot. So hopefully you don't have a lot of trucks going through. Oh, I'm using the wrong one. This is not a 3D. This is a standard, so I don't want to use that one. I want to use the 2 clear plates. Put that through. Line it up. Oh, I know why it's not going through. I have a piece here I don't need. Do you guys do that? I don't need that piece. All right, I just want the big platform and the 2 clear plates. Here we go. And there's a tight squeeze. All right. So then we got, look at that. Isn't that cool? It's a cool effect. It's not much work. All right, I'll put these aside. Just use that again. So now I have that. Now it's easy. I already scored that. So I'm just going to glue that straight on. And what I really thought was sharp when I first started is I love this big border. You know, so the focal point is you focus it right in the middle. And I do have an example that I did make it a little bit bigger. But I kind of like this really big border. All right, so that gets glued on, and then you just kind of decorate. So I will show you, though, how that embossing folder works. So I'm going to just do it with my beige color. In my machine, that's for the inside. Machine back. And this one is a 3D, so we're going to use the, I usually label them and I didn't put it on there yet. All right, so this, the metal part, the cutting part, goes on the side with the black label. And generally, that's a good thing to remember, because if you're going to color your embossing folder with a brayer or a sponge, you pretty much, whenever you're going to do something to your embossing folder, you do it to the side that has that black Stampin' Up! Logo. I'll put my paper on there. And you can put it through this way, you can put it through this way, doesn't really matter. Just getting my plates. Hopefully they don't fall over. All right, so this one we just need our base. This goes straight down, and then this is the one, because it's a 3D, we use the gray plate. So when you take it up, I'm going to show you, like, if I pretend I didn't move, if I was just doing just the embossing folder, you would get a really nice, you would get the 3 sand dollars, plus there's some bubbles or bumps or sand, a nice background. So that's a nice background, but it's really nice that it cuts it for you too. So this dot just goes in the recycling, because I don't really need that for anything, but I'm just going to use one of those sand dollars. Oops. I feel like I'm making all sorts of noise. All right, so that's, oh, here, I'll do, that's the big one, which you can do, but it really kind of blocks a lot of that work we just did. You could do the medium, but I kind of like the small one because I really want to see this. It's kind of the focal, well, I guess it's 2 focal points. I have that and that. So then I have my starfish. I don't think I'll do 2. I like one. I kind of like the one. This is the one I was copying. That one. And my other one, where I use the smaller, I just cut. So I just took a piece of scrap and just cut this size for the back. So there's no texture, it's just cut. And then I used, you have these 2 sizes of these textures. And I mean, sand dollars generally have more of the 5-pointed, so I'll have to do a little research. But anyways, it mimics a sand dollar. It very well could be something else, I don't know. But I did the bottom part in beige, and I did the top part in crumb cake. And so it just gives that the nice depth. And then I just put the smaller starfish on top. But I kind of like the, if I'm just doing that one, I kind of like the bigger starfish, so that's what I'll do. So I'm just going to put a little glue just on the middle. I kind of like how you can see a lot of the starfish. And I can glue that flat, or I can pop it up there. This one I glued flat, but I think I might pop that one up. There's like so much texture on these. I love them. That will go there. I kind of like to hide that corner. And then, because I think that might be a little too much. If I had that in a different color, it might work out okay. But 2 of the same color I don't like. And then I was just going to stamp. I'll just do the same thing. Just thank you, because it's there. I used, this is a new stamp set called Simply Said, and it's kind of shown in the, I'm going to hesitate because I want to make sure I call it right. I'm going to say it wrong. The ephemera packs. It's on that page. But you kind of, this kind of covers you for a lot of reasons. I could do happy birthday. I think I have, just to make it a little different. That paper won't work, but this paper will work. And I cut it at a 1/2 inch. And then I'll trim it. So I got 2 here. I use Calypso Coral. And I just lose it. Okay, this happened to me the other day. I actually took a picture. Stuck there. All right, so I'll get my happy birthday. I actually have a lot of summer birthdays. And then I'll just take scissors and trim it. I was looking for different dies, but I actually think a simple rectangle works. All right, we'll figure out where to put that. Probably should have not put this down yet. Oh, it's down. Oh, you know what? We'll have it go over. That works. I'll just put a little glue on that section. We'll have happy birthday. Oh, you know what? I need a dimensional on that side. It's kind of long. It will dangle without a little support there. Happy birthday. And for this one, I didn't bring them up. This one I added some of those gems. I might do that to this one too, just to give a little bit more something. All right, so that is, here are the 3 sand dollar versions of that card. Super easy. You can see that, and I'll just save these for another project. Oh, on the inside, I just used a strip of that same paper that I used for the starfish. So I'll do that for that one. But super easy, especially for using up your scraps. So let me show you some another version. Sure. And then I have one more to make. All right, so I made this one. So the only difference in this one, besides I used the zinnias, the stamp set, the dies, and the embossing folder, is I added a layer underneath it just to just as an option. And so I just made it a little bit bigger. So the layer behind it is still the same, that 2.5 by 3.5, but then I cut, this is Pebbled Path, I cut it a little bit bigger, so I cut it 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So you have an option of doing that. And another option is I did 6 strips. So this one has 5 strips. I did 6 strips. And because I added a 1/2 inch strip, I also added a 1/2 inch in the length. So it's still, the borders are still equal on all 4 sides. And so that's a 1/2 inch. Instead of 3.5, it's by 4. Just added a color. And I thought it needed a little breakup of color, so I added the ribbon. But I also, let me see, I also used the zinnias embossing folder on the card base as well, just as something different. But the one thing I did do, which was a mistake, is I opened up my card the wrong way. I glued it. It should go that way, but that's all right. I'll fix it. I'll figure it out. All right, so I have one more card to show you, just to show you that you can make this for like anything. So I am able, as a demonstrator, I'm able to pre-order products. So this is a pre-order. This won't be available to you until July. So actually that's next week. So it's a Christmas set. So this is part of the online exclusives. They have a whole bunch of really cool stuff coming out. And so I thought I'd make a Christmas card to show you that, you know, not all the Christmas stuff is out yet, but you can still make Christmas cards or holiday cards or whatever out of things that you have. So I have my strips. I have a couple things that are already prepped. Shaded spruce is going to be my card base. And I have my my 5 strips. I haven't decided though which order I want the colors to go in. So these are all greens. I'm wondering if I want. There you go. We'll do it that way. So I have Mossy Meadow, Garden Green, Old Olive, Granny Apple Green, and Lemon Lime Twist are my greens here. And then I have, it's not even a Christmas embossing folder. I'll show you in a sec what we're going to do. But I think it will work. I haven't made up the sample. I just thought it in my head. And I said, we'll just do it live. All right, so again, that's Mossy Meadow, Garden Green, Old Olive, Granny Apple Green, and Lemon Lime Twist. There were a few more green. There was Soft Sea Foam. Oh, actually, this is a good example. I have a, you can kind of see a little bit. I use Shaded Spruce as my base. Just trying to shimmy it down, and you can see a little bit of it. But when I put it on here, you won't see it. So it's kind of nice to use the base as the same color as your card base for that exact reason. All right, so we are going to use the Ferns embossing folder. I thought that might look nice with the greens. Let's find out. So this is also a 3D embossing folder. I'll just put that right there. Because I don't know about you, but I really don't enjoy making Christmas cards in December because there always seems to be too much going on. All right. So here is the, yeah, you can see it, the ferns. The zinnia ones is beautiful, Jenny. I agree. I just got that. I know it's been around for a while, the zinnia set, but I just got it. That is also an online exclusives option. All right. So I thought that might be a little plain. You know, I'll do the words. And so I thought for this one, there's this big celebrate in here. So I thought we would stamp celebrate all on the back of the card base. And I have a little red on there, so I'm just going to take that off. Okay. And I think also because this is a larger stamp, a photopolymer stamp, I'm going to use my mat here. And I should actually have scrap paper under it. Do I have scrap paper? That's the question. Here's some scrap paper. All right. So here we go. We're going to do celebrate. So sometimes I start off. You don't always want to read straight from here. So I'm going to kind of go on a diagonal. I love the script. And then I'll fill in. Like that. And then maybe I'll mimic the top. Just do that. off. Okay. Jenny, I wish you the much luck getting your Christmas cards done in July. I would love to say the same thing, but I don't think it's going to happen. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like I'm so far behind. All right. So that kind of jazzes it up a little bit. I might even use this as one of my 12 weeks of Christmas ideas. All right. So we need to take this stamp off. We need the block again. So what I like about this too is you can kind of build what you want it to say. So celebrate, I'm going to write the season, but you can say, I love the peace and joy, or celebrate the light, or let's celebrate. So it's not just a Christmas set. You do have a snowflake, you have some leaves. These are birthday candles. That's for the flame on the candle. You have stars and hearts, berries for the, I don't think it looks like holly, but I think it's supposed to mimic holly. So you can kind of get a lot of celebrations out of this set. There's also paper that matches it, which I did not bring up to show you, but there is. Take that up. Celebrate the season. All right, and I cut out 2 of these just in case. And that was part of the die set. I don't know if I showed you that or not. Here is the die set for it. So that's I like this label piece a lot. And you have this nice bigger one, but I thought about using it, but I thought it was too big. I didn't, but you have a nice star, leaves, tons of little stars, a little Christmas tree or evergreen tree, some hearts. So you get a lot of stuff in there. All right, so we're gonna say celebrate the season. And I did take red because this one is a Christmas card, not really a holiday card. This is cherry cobbler. Okay, do okay. So now we'll build it. I did stamp a couple trees. I could even, normally I put my stuff on the right side, but we'll see. Maybe I'll put this up on the left side. And I did stamp some trees. It was a 2-step stamp. So right here, just like the leaves. So I used Old Olive and Mossy Meadow for my trees. Let's see where we want them. Oh, I should actually, let me first just glue that directly on there. I could have stamped the little trees behind, but they're kind of little. That would take a lot of stamping. Let's see here. Again, I didn't really plan this, so it's going to take me a second to decide how I want them. I feel like I put that on crooked. I might do 3 up there, and I did bring some gold twine. We needed it, and I brought linen thread, and I think I brought up these gems go with this set. They're called earth tones. Let's see. We might need these too. Yep, so you get some different colors. So that I'm going to pop up. I think we need some twine. That might work. Okay. I'm just going to use glue dots to stick this down. I'm going to be a sticky mess. All right. I use the glue dots because we can adjust it. We can undo. Okay, that's good. And then I think I might use the foam strips just because I have them here. But if I didn't have them here, I would just cut my dimensional thin. But I like the foam strips. You can actually manipulate them. This has a little curve, so you can actually make it go along the curve. That. And then we'll just stick trees. I don't know if I just want two. Oops. Oh, you probably can't see. I tucked to the top of the tree underneath. Celebrate the seat. I don't know. I think I like it with a 2, and then we'll just put on some gems, and we'll be good to go. We'll use green. I always stress about these. I don't know where I want them. I'm just going to do 1. So a lot of times we do things in 3s. So I have 2 trees and a gem. So that's kind of my 3. It doesn't have to be 3 of the same thing. All right. So, and then I'll decorate the inside. But just to show you, you can do a Christmas card in the summer with very little Christmas stamps. All right. So just to recap, that's the one I was sent. And this is, I made 2 of them. These are the 2 that I made. And then these 2 have variations. And then that's the Christmas one I just made. Okay, let's see back here. I'm like sweating. So thanks for joining me. Hopefully you liked it. So it's just easy, just strips. So just get creative. You can manipulate them, do however many colors you want or all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of variables that you can do. All right, so just to recap too, for June, the Stampin' Cut machines are both on sale. The standard and the mini size are both 10% off. Any stamp set with die bundle in the catalog is an additional 10% off. So that means it's 20% off. And then I sent out an email this morning about my stamp club. I know a few of you watching are in my stamp club, and I love that. And so I have openings that start in July. So be sure to read that email, or if you didn't get it, reach out to me either in the comments or somehow email, and I'll get you that information because I would love you guys to join my stamp club. All right, have a wonderful day. Stay cool if it's hot where you are, and enjoy your summer. I'll see you next week. Oh, I'll see you Thursday. Anne and I are doing our Thursday joint live, and I haven't prepared, but we're using those ephemera packs. I don't even say it right. So we'll see what I come up with. So that will be Thursday, I think, at 8 p.m. Eastern time, but I will send information out about that. Have a wonderful day. Bye.